All right, we are now back live. Court is back in session. Would you please start from the beginning, Ms. Thomas, now that we have the translation issues resolved?
Yes, Your Honor. Officer, could you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the evidence you should give before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You put your hand down, state your name for the record.
My name is Officer Mesadieu Mackinson.
And how are you employed, officer?
I'm employed with the Clinton County Police Department.
Were you so employed on or about February the 5th, 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
And on that date, did you have occasion to investigate an incident that occurred at 5166 JG Clover Court?
Yes.
And is that within the confines of Ellenwood, Clayton County?
Yes.
And did that investigation involve a Muhammad Saul?
Yes.
And what brought you to that location? What were you investigating?
We were Sector 1 officers were responded to a property check at that location because the caller who called said that there was few men unloading one Amazon trailer to another chassis. Upon arrival, officers spoke with.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask you something right quick. This location is what, an Amazon warehouse?
No, it's
leading.
one of those park.
Hold on. The defensive objective.
Okay. What's your response this time?
I'll rephrase my answer, Your Honor. My question.
Okay.
Officer, what's located at this address?
The location what's located at this address is like a truck parking. It's like a truck parking for tractor trailers and stuff.
Storage?
No, not storage. Like people, whoever drive commercial trucks, they park their truck there. It's a truck parking spot.
Oh, okay then. Now, when you all arrived at the location, what did you find and what did you do?
So we saw men unloading a truck, Amazon trailer into another trailer. That's what they were doing. When we arrived, we stopped them and then started asking questions. Then we spoke with Mr. Sao. He doesn't speak English, so we had to use we have to use the phones to get an interpreter to talk to him. That's when he told us that his brother had dropped him at the location to unload the Amazon trailer to the other trailer that they were loading and taking pictures and send it to him.
Okay, let me stop you right quick. The three men, when you first arrived, you said you saw three men unloading a tractor trailer into another truck?
Yes.
Was one of those three men the person before the court, Muhammad Saul?
Yes.
And when you all arrived at the scene, did you all stop them or what happened?
We told everyone to stop.
Were you afterwards able to talk to Mr. Saul?
We were able to talk to him, yes, but he did not speak English.
Okay, and I believe you previously mentioned that you had to get some type of interpretation?
Yes.
What did you use?
We used the language line.
Is that something from the Clayton County Police Department?
I believe so, yes.
And using language line, what did you find out, if anything?
We're using the language line. We asked him a couple questions. He says that his brother, Modu, had dropped him at the location and told him to transfer the items from the Amazon truck into the chassis that they had brought.
Did Amazon authorize anybody to unload that truck at that location?
No, I don't think they did.
After Mr. Saul advised you as to how he ended up there, what happened next, if anything?
What happened next is we got the phone number from him from his brother. Then the brother came to the scene and he said, oh, they had bought the trailer from Amazon. They said they had bought the trailer. That's why they are unloading the trailer from the Amazon to the new trailer that they have brought to the location.
If I understood you correctly, you said they bought the trailer from Amazon? Is that what
that's what they said they did. That's what the brother who show up later said Mr. Modu show up later and say, yeah, they bought the trailer.
And Mr. Modu, what is his full name?
Let me check.
Now, may the officer be allowed to refresh his recollection?
Yes.
Officer, let us know when you're ready.
Okay. His last name is Diop, first name Modu.
Was he also charged in this matter?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the claim was made based on your testimony that this trailer had been purchased. Is that correct?
Yes.
Were they able to provide any type of documentation or proof that they were the owners of the trailer?
I think they did to CID. I'm not sure, but when I was investigating the part, they were taken to CID.
Okay. But when you on the scene, you had no proof?
On the scene now.
Okay. Did you, the officers on the scene, were you all the ones who charged all three of these people?
No, CID did.
And was that due to follow-up investigation by CID, or do you know?
I think they would, because we had take all of them to CID. While they were at CID, that's when they were charged.
Okay. Now, you indicated you all had some type of conversation with Mr. Saul at the scene. Was that conversation recorded?
It was recorded on the body cam. And also, I think it's also recorded on the language line as well.
Okay. And where is that recording?
I don't have that recording with me.
I'm saying, where is it now? Who has it?
I believe Officer Smith Gabriel has that recording.
So it would be in the custody of the Clayton County Police Department?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know if there's any other type of video or recording on the scene?
No, I did not.
Okay. You have Mr. Saul charged with entering an automobile. What is the basis of that?
Entering an automobile is when you don't have authorization to enter somebody else's vehicle. Since the vehicle,
did he enter?
they entered the trailer for the Amazon truck.
You also have him charged with cargo theft. What's the basis of that?
Cargo theft. There were some merchandise in there that, based on the price and the items, they were considered cargo. That's why it was charged with cargo theft as well.
That was the contents of the trailer? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if the contents of that trailer were stolen?
I don't know at the time, but I think CID know the content was stolen because they had contacted Amazon when Amazon told them that the trailer was stolen, basically.
So the warrants that we've been discussing, you didn't take those out, CID did?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I know you previously testified that this was a lot where trucks were parked. Does the lot belong to Amazon?
No, it does not belong to Amazon. I think it's called realized truck parking, something like that, but
okay.
It does not belong to Amazon.
Now, the person that you encountered on that day, do you see him in court today? If so, describe him by physical appearance or article of clothing.
He's the one wearing the orange jumpsuit, and I think he's in the jail right now.
Okay. Your Honor, I believe that is all the questions that I have reserved right for redirect.
All right, Mr. Lewis,
Thank you.
cross-examination.
Thank you, Judge. Are you able to hear me, officer?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Are you a patrolman or a detective?
I'm a patrol officer. Yes.
Understood. Your last name, is it spelled Atkins?
Atkins now.
Okay, spell your last name for me.
Mesadieu.
Ah, I got it. Pronounce it again for me, please.
Mesadieu.
Mesadieu. All right, Officer Mesadieu. Let's go back to the day that you arrived at this location. What brought you to the location?
We had a call for a property check.
And who called for the property check?
I don't remember what caused, but I think it was anonymous. They called, they said that there were people unloading one trailer to another.
Why do you believe it was anonymous?
Say yeah?
Why do you believe that it was anonymous?
Because when I went there, there was nobody, there was not anybody that would answer. They said, oh yeah, I was the one who called.
Understood. Understood. I've heard you describe this as a lot. Is that correct?
It is a lot. It's
A parking lot?
pretty much, yes.
Mhm. Are there any buildings on this lot?
They have like I think will be like where you pay to park. It's like a little
Mhm.
trailer that people go in to pay, pretty much.
Okay, so there's a physical place, a trailer on the lot that people go in to pay. Is that correct?
Yes.
And did you go inside that trailer?
There were nobody inside. We went tonight. We trying to do our investigation, see who in the area that have video footage or that encountered them, but we didn't have any of that.
So there was no one in the trailer?
No,
So do people pay using an automated system when they go in the trailer?
they do.
All right, so they don't actually hand cash to a live person. Is that correct?
That one I can tell you yes or no because I don't know.
All right. But you saw the equipment for automated payment, correct?
No, I did not send equipment for automated payment, but they do have those. They say you can pay on the app.
You can pay on the app. All right. And you saw that where?
When you first pull up, they do have the one on the gate. They have you can pay. You can call them to pay them, or you can use
Yes.
the app to pay.
Ah, I see. So let me ask you, how long were you out there on that lot?
I was there for most of my shift.
And Officer Messenger, how long is your shift?
It's about 8 hours.
8 hours. So during the 8 hour period, did you ever see anyone in that trailer?
No.
Okay. All right. Officer Messenger, let me now turn to the vehicle that you described the items being in. That vehicle, did it have a tractor attached to it?
No, it did not have a tractor. But the one that they were putting the items to did have a tractor attached to it.
Yes, sir. But the one that they were taking the items from did not have a tractor attached to it. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Did it have a truck attached to it or a car attached to it?
No.
All right. How about some kind of locomotive? Did it have a train or anything attached to it?
No.
It was just a trailer. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, when you first came upon the trailer, was it open or closed?
It was open. They were actively unloading.
Okay. So did the trailer have a padlock associated with it?
Padlock, I did not see that.
You did not see that. All right. Okay. So now let's go to the trailer itself. The trailer belonged to Amazon?
Yes.
How do you know that?
Because it was the Amazon logo on the trailer.
And then the truck that the items are being moved into, what kind of truck was that?
It's like one of those chassis trailer, and if I can look, I think I put the trailer information in there, the tractor information in there as well.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. You put the trailer information, so what it was being moved into was a trailer?
Yes. So they
All
take
right,
it from the Amazon trailer to another trailer.
to another trailer.
Yes.
All right. And the other trailer that they took the items to, was that trailer parked on the lot?
Yes.
And who was the rentor or owner of that trailer?
If you give me a minute, I can look it up in the report.
Sure.
I do not have the trailer information, but the owner of the trailer, we don't have the information of it, but we have the make model of the trailer, but we don't have the name or the company of that trailer.
So let me ask a question then, Officer Mesidue. The second trailer, did it have a VIN number on it?
Yes, it did have a VIN number.
Okay, wonderful. And when you ran the VIN number in the system, you don't have that information?
I don't. That information probably is on the call log on the
Okay, that's not the
system,
question I asked you, Officer Mesidue. I asked you if you have the information yielded from the VIN number.
all I got from the information here from the VIN number is the make, model, and the year of the vehicle.
Okay, so you got that from the tractor trailer itself, correct?
From when I ran the van, yes.
When you ran the VIN. So you
Yes.
can't see, so the make and model and year wasn't evident to you when you actually looked at it with your eyes. You got that information from the VIN?
Yes.
Okay. Now, was that the make, model, and year from the tractor, or the make, model, and year from the trailer?
That's make, model, year for the tractor.
All right, wonderful. Tell me about the trailer.
The trailer is one of those chassis container.
No, sir. I'm asking about the VIN number.
The
That's
VIN
what I
number
asked about initially.
of what
Did you get
trailer?
the VIN number from the trailer that the items are being moved into?
No.
Okay. Did you get the VIN number from the trailer of the that the items are being moved from?
Yes.
All right. And did you confirm that the logo on the side of that trailer, which said Amazon, actually was the owner of the trailer?
I did not, but CID had contacted
No,
the.
sir. I'm talking to you, Officer Mesidue.
Okay.
Did you confirm that the name that you saw on the side of the trailer was in fact the owner when you compared it to what you got from the VIN number?
Yes.
All right. So Amazon is the owner of the first trailer. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And Amazon, are they or are they not the owner of the second trailer?
Second trailer?
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
Okay.
Because the second trailer is just a steel trailer, no make, no model, nothing on it. I can tell you
Oh,
yes or no.
but it had a VIN number, right?
I found the VIN number on the tractor, not the trailer.
Oh, I see. I see. Now I'm clear. So you did not get a VIN number from the second trailer.
No,
All right. Is the second trailer a permanent attachment to the tractor, or can it be separated from the tractor?
it can be separated from the tractor.
Okay. All right. And so, but there was no tractor attached to the first trailer,
No,
correct? But there is a tractor attached to the second trailer. Is that correct?
yes,
Okay. And the only way that the first trailer, and I'm asking your observation as a law enforcement officer, the first trailer can only be moved from the lot if it's attached to some locomotive, right?
yes,
All right, like a tractor or a car or a bus or something,
yes,
correct?
yeah,
It doesn't have an engine on it of its own, correct?
no,
All right. And the second trailer, it also has to be attached to a tractor or something that has an engine because it doesn't have an engine of its own. Is that correct?
no,
All right. Now, when you arrived on the scene, the second trailer was still sitting there.
yes,
Okay. Was there somebody in the driver's seat of the tractor?
yes.
Okay. And was that person that's in the driver's seat of the tractor, were they moving the trailer at the time?
No, they were not.
They were not. All right. Was that person that was sitting in the tractor of the second trailer Mr. Saul?
No.
All right. And Madam Prosecutor introduced a term here. She said the three people. How many people did you find on the lot associated with this activity?
It was about 4 Spanish males and 2 black males.
All right. So far we got 6, 2 black males and 4 Spanish males. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And does that include the person who arrived to the scene later on to say that I purchased the tractor from Amazon?
No.
Okay. So altogether, if I'm and you correct me if I'm wrong, we got 4 Spanish males and 3 black males associated with this event. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Now, did Mr. Saul have a vehicle?
No. He
All right.
said he was his brother dropped him at the location.
Yeah, I know you told me that, but I wanted to know if he had a vehicle on that lot that you were able to find.
No.
So everything presumably that Mr. Saul got off of the trailer that had the Amazon logo went into the trailer that did not have the Amazon logo. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And none of those things that were taken off of the Amazon trailer ended up in Mr. Saul's pocket. Is that correct?
No.
Okay. What kind of things were in that first tractor, sir?
I don't know what was in there, but there were a lot of things in there. Because when we got there, they opened them, and then
Who is they?
everybody that was on the scene.
They opened what?
The boxes. They opened the box, take pictures, and then sent to Mr. Modu. And then what they do, they close it again and then put it in the other trailer.
All right. So if I'm understanding you correctly, they took pictures of the items that were there, correct?
Yes.
and then they sent those pictures to the other party that arrived to the scene later on. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, you spoke with Mr. Did I understand that to be Adu?
Modu.
Modu. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And Mr. Modu identified himself as the brother of at least one person. Is that correct?
Now, Mr. Sal,
Mm-hmm.
his brother dropped him, but when we call, the guy will show up is Mr. Modu. He did not. He did not want to talk to us when we were there.
Oh, okay, okay. So we don't know if the person that dropped Saul off was in fact Mr. Modu. Is that correct?
When he showed up, he told us that's the guy who dropped him.
All right.
He said
Now,
that's the person who dropped him at the lot.
and did you confirm that the Mr. Modu, the person that showed up, is in fact the person who received the pictures?
Yes, because
Go ahead.
the Hispanics say, "Oh, he's the boss," and the driver say, that's the boss."
Oh, okay. So everybody on the scene is confirming that the person who arrived on the scene, the recipient of the pictures, was in fact the boss.
Yes, the person who dropped them and told them, "Hey, you go unload this truck to that truck."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And how many people did you arrest?
Only 3 of them. I did not make any arrests. They were to CID, and CID made the arrest. I did not.
And of the 3 black men and the 4 Spanish men, how many got arrested?
3 black male.
Oh, okay. I got it. Now, who were the 3? I know Mr. Modu is one of them, and I know that Mr. Saul is one of them. Who's the other black male that got arrested?
The driver, Bray Calvin.
Okay, and he was sitting in the driver's seat of the tractor that was attached to the trailer where things were being placed. Correct?
When I arrived on the scene, he was not. He was standing outside of the vehicle.
I'm sorry. Repeat that again.
He was not sitting inside. He was standing outside the vehicle when I arrived.
Okay. Did you see anyone in the driver's seat?
No, I did not. But he said that he was the driver. He said he was the driver of that truck, of that tractor.
Okay. Did he have the keys?
Yes, he did.
All right. And so he drove the tractor there. Did you have a theft report on the tractor?
The tractor? No.
Mm-hmm. How about the trailer that was attached to it? Was there a theft report on that?
No.
Okay. All right. Now, I am familiar in the black community that we sometimes refer to each other as brother. Is Mr. Saul, in fact, the brother of Mr. Modu?
I don't know that for sure, but he said his brother had dropped him there.
Mm-hmm. And then how about the other black man that got arrested? Is Mr. Saul, did he identify that as his brother as well?
No.
All right. So back, just to recap, make sure I got this confirmed. Mr. Saul, a black man, was arrested because he had moved items from the Amazon trailer to another trailer. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Modu was arrested because he was the person who dropped Mr. Saul off to move items from one trailer to the other trailer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then the other black man was arrested because he was the person who drove the truck to the location that was receiving the packages from the first trailer going into the second trailer. Is that right?
I believe so.
And the 4 Spanish men were not arrested because of what?
That one, I don't know. Because when we were, I don't know.
All right. Thank you. No further questions.
Okay.
All right, any follow-up, Ms. Thomas?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going to follow up with Attorney Lewis just asked you about. Who admitted they were the driver? Was it Mr. Diop or was it this defendant?
The Bray Carvin was the driver.
The third co-defendant.
Yes.
Did he indicate he was the owner? Who said that they would have bought this from Amazon?
The Modu subject.
So co-defendant Calvin Bray said he was the driver.
Yes.
Co-defendant Diop, who is this defendant's brother, said that he had bought the trailer. Was it the trailer or the tractor or the whole thing from Amazon?
He said he had bought the trailer.
From Amazon. But he provided no proof of that.
No, he didn't provide any proof to us, but CID had deal with that.
Okay. And this defendant before the court today, who is Mr. Diop's brother, by his admission, correct?
Yes.
He was helping to unload it.
Yes.
The other vehicle, the other trailer that they were putting the stuff in, was that an Amazon trailer?
No.
And last question, this goes to, I believe the defense counsel was asking you about the loading and the unloading part of it. When I initially questioned you, I asked you about what type of location this was. I believe your response was trailer storage. Is that correct?
It's a trailer. It's a trailer parking.
Parking.
Yes, parking.
It's not a warehouse where you would normally load and unload?
No, it's not a warehouse. It's a parking.
It does loading and unloading occur in this lot to your knowledge?
No.
So this situation was unusual in your experience?
Yes.
I believe there was also some questioning about 3 other individuals who were on the lot. Not the initial 3 who were charged. Did any of them ever say anything about they own the truck or anything like that?
No, they said they were at the Home Depot, and then Mr. Diop told them, "Hey, you guys need to work," and then put them on the truck and then drop them on the lot and told them to help Mr. Sal unload the trailer to the other.
They were hired by Mr. Diop, defendant's brother.
Yes.
To help defendant and Mr. Bray unload that truck.
Yes.
So they had nothing to do with owning it or anything at all.
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I had.
Yes, recross judge.
Right.
Mr. Bray unloaded the truck.
Say again.
Mr. Bray unloaded the truck.
He was standing outside. I don't know if he unloaded, but
okay. But you just said that Madam Prosecutor just asked to help defendant and Mr. Bray unload the truck, and you said yes. So you didn't see Mr. Bray unload a truck, correct?
No, but he did have pictures on his phone of
okay.
the items.
All right, that's fine. And then secondly, I asked you who was the owner of the trailer that was being loaded, and you told me you didn't know the answer, but Madam Prosecutor just asked you, was it owned by Amazon, and you said no. So now let me back up and ask you to clarify that discrepancy. Who is the owner of the trailer that was being loaded?
The second trailer?
Yes, sir.
It's not Amazon. I don't know who's the owner of it. The first,
but it's not
Amazon. Yeah, if I may object, I don't recall asking about the second trailer. I asked about the first one where the property was coming off of. I did not ask about the second one.
Mr. Lewis, your response?
I don't know what I'm supposed to respond to, Judge. It was my question, but she wanted to be heard.
She was objecting, saying that your recross is outside the scope of her redirect.
Interesting. All right. So, Judge, I have no response. You can rule any way you want to on that.
Okay. Sustain. Next question.
All right. So your answer that you gave earlier about Amazon not being the owner is, what does that belong to? That belongs to the second trailer?
Yes. Amazon not being the owner belong to the second trailer.
Okay, good. And then finally, well, actually 2 questions. The young man who is the recipient of the pictures, said that he bought the trailer from Amazon. Is that correct?
That's why he said yes.
Did he say that he bought the packages in the trailer from Amazon?
I don't know, but he didn't have proof.
Okay.
In there.
All right. All right. But his only statement was that he bought the trailer from Amazon, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then final question, the Mr. Saul that had been dropped off by his brother was engaged in the same activity as the 4 Hispanic males?
Yes.
Okay. And that activity, once again, is removing things from the Amazon trailer that his brother said he bought and putting it into another trailer. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, any redirect, Ms. Thomas?
No, ma'am.
Does the state rest?
Yes, it does.
All right, Mr. Lewis, any evidence or witnesses on behalf of your client?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Thomas, are you deferring to Mr. Lewis to do his closing remarks first?
Yes, ma'am. I'll do mine again.
All right, Mr. Lewis.
Judge, let me start with the easy pickings. My client is accused of entering automobile. The charge of entering an automobile, the felony charge of entering an automobile, requires that he enter an automobile for the purposes of committing a felony or a theft therein. There is no automobile here, Judge. There is no engine. There is no propulsion. There is no steering wheel. There is no nothing. There is a trailer here. Madam Prosecutor, in her statements, has introduced this word storage many times, and I would agree with her. It is storage. That is what a trailer is. It can become an automobile, or at least part of an automobile, if in fact it's attached to something. In fact, according to this officer, don't even have a VIN number. And so I would submit to the court that we can't have an entering automobile because we don't have an automobile. We have a box, and at this point, we don't even know if that box is on wheels.
The trailer did have
Mr. Officer Mesa do?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
You can't talk out of turn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. Mr. Lewis, you can continue.
Okay, thank you, Judge. So at this point, we don't have any testimony that was offered during the evidentiary period that this truck even had wheels. And so I would submit to you, it's not an automobile. Secondly, the issue to commit a felony therein. Well, what felony? No one has told you anything about value. No one. In fact, we don't even know if the trailer was already open or anything else. We don't know how many packages Mr. Saul assisted with moving from point A to point B, or if he was just a picture taker. In fact, what we know from what the officer has told us is that 4 Hispanic males were hired to come and move things from the trailer to somewhere else, and Mr. Saul was dropped off to move things from the trailer to somewhere else. The 4 Hispanic males were not arrested for the same activity, but Mr. Saul, the black man, was. He was arrested. The police also charged him with theft by receiving, Judge. So I'm going to deal with the theft issue all by itself, because the theft is also a possibility in substantiating the entering auto, and it's a separate charge here as well. First, let's dispose of the receiving. Mr. Saul didn't receive anything. He didn't have nothing on in his pockets. He didn't have nothing in his possession other than pictures that he sent to the person that dropped him off. But so did the other 4 Hispanic males. The things that Mr. Saul had pictures of were actually in the other trailer. And Mr. Adu, the man who dropped him off, who he called his brother, Mr. Adu, said he purchased the trailer and not the things inside. And so that sounds like it's got some plausibility to it. In fact, I would submit to the court that it would have been much easier to attach the tractor to the trailer that's already loaded if you wanted to steal the things that were there. So, with respect to the issue of theft by receiving, Mr. Saul never took anything with the intent to make it his own. And there's not been offered anywhere in evidence that he would have known that the things were stolen. In fact, you don't have any report that anything was stolen. What you have only is that five men, Black and Hispanic, were moving things from one trailer to the other, and both trailers were still on the lot while this police officer was there on scene. So, Judge, those are our first two charges. The last is theft of cargo. So I don't know, Judge, what to say with respect to theft of cargo, except there's one little problem. This man's not taking anything. According to the police officer, his conduct is to move things from one place to another place in the same geographic location. That he is not the driver of the tractor that brought the second trailer to the scene, that he was dropped off by another on the scene for a sole purpose of being labor, moving items from point A to point B on the same lot. So as far as theft of cargo is concerned, Judge, I would submit to you that what we have at this point in time might be transference of cargo, but there's no theft because he's not taking anything. The only thing he's doing is, as I said, serving as day labor. My client has unfortunately used the word brother. I asked a very clear question to this officer. Does he mean brother in the sense of a Black man, or is there some familial relationship between he and the person who dropped him off? They certainly don't have the last name. And the officer says, I don't know. We don't know if Mr. Saul would have used the word brother with respect to the driver of the supposed tractor that was involved in the scene. He was a Black man. No questions were asked about that. And so I would submit to you, Judge, for all the reasons and those that will be made up as soon as I stop talking, that you're missing elements. There is no theft reported. There is only activity that is reported to law enforcement from an anonymous source that's not to be consulted by the law enforcement when they arrive on scene about items moving from point A to point B in a lot. Judge, I'm going to add one more thing because Madam Prosecutor asked the question. She asked this officer if it is usual or unusual for the transference of things from one box to another box. And he said no. But she didn't ask him what he knew about transference of things and where they would take place. So in other words,
I asked the officer.
I'm sorry, I'm in my closing.
I understand that, but I don't believe I mentioned anything
Let
about
talk, Judge.
coming
Go
from
ahead.
one box to another. Your Honor, I am allowed to object if he is saying something that was not factually brought into evidence, and I don't recall saying anything about something being brought from one box to another box.
All right, Mr. Lewis.
She asked if it was usual, if in his understanding, if it was usual, and I'm following up on it.
Yeah, so from my understanding, the question was, because she's trying to I remember that line of question. She was asking whether it was a warehouse or a parking lot, and whether it was usual for people to be unloading and loading in that parking lot.
Correct.
Okay,
That
and then
was her
what were you saying? And what were you
and,
saying? You were asking,
and
what were you saying in your closing?
in my closing, that she did not qualify him to understand what he knows about usual or
Okay.
unusual. And are you talking, Judge?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, yeah, I understand what you're saying now.
Okay. So what we do know is that there is no storage facility on that lot. Madam Prosecutor kept interjecting the word storage. There is no storage facility on that lot. There's a trailer there that the officer assumes that is used for people to make their transactions. And I said assume because he, in his most of his 8-hour shift while he was on the lot, he never saw anybody working in the lot go in. He also told us that there is a sign out there which allows people to gives instructions on payment or calling to pay. And so I would submit to you that that there is no storage facility out there. And so the only question that is asked of the court at this point in time is if there is a device that is broken, and this device is holding things, and things have to move from that device to one that is working, where would you do it? Where would you do it? I think I would submit to the court that you would do it in place. And so here's where we are, Judge. My client is labor. There is nothing about his intent that is offered here other than his intent was to be labor. Just like the 4 Hispanic men who were called upon the scene and not arrested to be labor. While the black people, the 2 that were on scene, one loading, one standing outside of an area with the keys to drive the vehicle away, and the other that came back to the scene. As interesting as that is, Judge, could you imagine a thief coming back to the scene to tell the police what he did? So I would submit that there is no cause to bind this case over. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Thomas?
Yeah, I'm going to try to be really brief. This is what we have here. And the distinction, first and foremost, is and from the state's perspective, there is no racial component to who got arrested and who did not get arrested. What we do have is a situation where this gentleman, Muhammad Saul, admitted that his brother dropped him off to unload this truck. This is something that is not that according to the officer's knowledge and testimony is not a normal occurrence on this lot. The co-defendant admitted that he was the one that drove the truck there. Mr. Diop, who was also charged, claimed that they had purchased, and this gentleman's brother, that the truck had been purchased by them from Amazon, which subsequent investigation
Purchased by him, not them, was the testimony.
And would the court like to
Judge, facts not in evidence.
Your Honor, would the court like to rule, or may I be allowed to continue?
Yeah, no, you can respond to the objection if you want to.
Your Honor, I said him, and I meant that. I don't see what
No,
he's objecting to.
He said that what did you say, them instead of him? He was saying that he bought it.
Exactly, Judge. She said them, and it was him.
So he was saying that you're including Mr. Saul in the purchase is what he's objecting to, because that's not what the officer said.
I understand, Your Honor. I did not realize that. I will continue. However,
okay, so your objection is sustained. All right, you can continue, Ms. Thomas.
Yes, ma'am. However, he was aware of what was going on. His brother dropped him off there, and then the brother brought some more help to help them get that stuff off the truck.
Objection, Judge. Facts not in evidence. The brother did not bring any more help.
Yes, he did. Your Honor, also testified that Mr. Diop
can I finish
told him that he had picked the gentleman up from Home Depot.
Ms. Thomas, let Mr. Lewis finish his objection. What's your objection in full?
Facts not in evidence, Judge. The testimony was that the Hispanic men said that he sought out their assistance at the Home Depot, not that he brought anybody else to the scene.
Okay, your response, Ms. Thomas?
Yeah, that I would disagree with that statement. I believe the testimony was that they were picked up from Home Depot and brought there. Why else would you pick them up and then not bring them there? They did not have their own transportation. They were brought to that location to assist in unloading that trailer and putting it in the other trailer that was not owned by Amazon. There was an allegation that they owned, not they, the Hispanic people that Mr. Diop and I'm going to assume his compatriots had purchased the initial trailer, and that was established by investigation to not be correct. Your Honor, they were all, and by they I mean Mr. Diop.
Are we still in the middle of that objection, Judge?
I actually don't recall whether he said brought, picked up. I do recall that he said that he went to Home Depot to get the labor. And for purposes of my fact finding, it doesn't really actually matter to me.
Correct.
Okay,
But
Your
you
Honor,
can
if I may,
continue, Ms. Thomas, yes.
thank you. I was attempting to wrap it up. But for all intents and purposes, Your Honor, these three gentlemen were charged for a specific reason, and that's because between the three of them, they are the ones who exercise dominion and control over the contents of the cargo that was taken from Amazon.
No, they didn't.
And brought to
I'm sorry, was there another objection, Mr. Lewis?
I believe so.
What was your objection, Mr. Lewis?
Yeah, there was no evidence that the person who dropped Mr. Saul off ever exercised dominion and control over the cargo. There was no testimony that the driver ever exercised dominion and control over the items. And the only testimony that was given with respect to Mr. Saul is that he had pictures and he was dropped off to move things from the trailer that was on the lot to the other trailer that's on the lot.
Your response, Ms. Thomas?
First of all, Your Honor, I believe there was substantial testimony indicating that Mr. Bray is the person who actually was the driver who brought the truck to the lot. So that's his dominion. He's the one that brought it there.
Objection,
Mr. Diop is the
Judge.
one
There was
that claimed. Mr. Diop is the one that claimed
Objection,
that they
Judge.
owned it.
No, she's responding to your objection. So you're objecting to her responding to your objection.
I'm objecting to the fact that she's introducing facts that Mr. Bray drove the truck there. In fact, the testimony that we received is that Mr. Bray had the keys and standing outside, and that this officer never saw him, and there was no testimony that Mr. Bray brought that second truck to the lot.
I'm not referring to the second truck, Your Honor. If I may be allowed to respond to the first objection, we might be able to get done. But in any case, there was testimony that Mr. Bray is the one who was the operator of the tractor that brought the truck there. The officer indicated that. Now, the officer indicated when they got there, they saw three people unloading the truck, one of which was a defendant before.
So if we all could just focus on Mr. Saul.
That's what I'm trying to do, Your Honor.
I don't care about Mr. Bray at this point. I just want to know Mr. Saul's connection to this, to his three charges.
Exactly, Your Honor. That's what I was getting to. When the officers got there, that's who they saw unloading that truck. And he was connected to the truck by the subsequent testimony regarding Mr. Diop and Mr. Bray. The only connection we have of the three Hispanic gentlemen was that they were picked up and brought there to assist in unloading that truck. Your Honor, I believe that the officer's testimony is sufficient at this point for proper purposes of probable cause to transfer this case in its entirety to the Superior Court.
What do you have to say? Because there is actually no testimony about value.
Your Honor, I would contend and I do concede that there was no specific testimony regarding the value of the total contents of the truck, but we have a truck and we have its contents there too. And I do not believe that in the entirety of all of it will be a misdemeanor amount. So again,
I'm clear about that, but we don't have there's zero evidence about whether it's probable that it's a felony or a misdemeanor at all in testimony this morning.
Exact dollar amounts, Your Honor, I will concede were not provided.
No, not even exact. He didn't say more than 1,000, more than 10,000. Like we have zero testimony about the value of it because I actually wrote that down. Because I don't know one way or the other.
I will concede that, Your Honor. However, based on the fact that we have not just the cargo itself, but the truck and the trailer, that could be inferred as being in the excess of the statutory amount, which will allow the entire case to go to Superior Court. It's not just the cargo, it's the entirety, the truck, the trailer, and the cargo.
He said it wasn't, there was no tractor attached to the trailer. It was just a trailer standing by itself.
But we also heard testimony that Mr. Bray brought it there using that tractor. But
No,
the
No, we
if we don't
objection,
even,
Judge.
No,
if
that's
we
not-
don't talk about the track, if I take off the tractor completely, the trailer and the cargo,
Objection, Judge.
Yeah, hold on, Mr. Lewis. The issue is that they even so we don't have any testimony about value at all. It could be inoperable. It could just be a piece of trash trailer. Like, we don't have any evidence at all for me to presume any value.
well, Your Honor, I would concede even if it was an inoperable trailer, it's still going to be valued in excess of $500.
Okay, Mr. Lewis, what was your objection? Mr. Lewis? Did we lose you, Mr. Lewis?
Your Honor, I see his name, but it's completely
Yeah.
blacked out.
Okay. If we lost him. Mr. Lewis? Okay, maybe he looked like